700 years ago, Marco Polo set sail from the Adriatic Sea. At the age of 17, Marco Polo, along with his father and uncle, ventured across treacherous straits and sprawling deserts. He eventually set foot in legendary China, the mysterious land of dragons. Marco Polo, a polymath, was a merchant, a journalist, and to some extent, a diplomat. With fearless courage and endless curiosity, he broke the boundaries of time and space for mankind. His adventures, which are not only breathtaking, but also akin to a journey through time, linking the distant territories and different civilizations together, opening up a whole new chapter in human history.
Marco Polo travelled on what in the 19th century becomes known as the Silk Road. And whilst he was serving Kublai Khan for numerous years, the Mongol emperor very helpfully gave him this. Paiza, how do you pronounce it? Paiza. Thank you. And this has been known as the world's first diplomatic passport. Marco Polo, as well as being a merchant, a journalist, he was also in some ways a diplomat. And the Silk Road is something which today has different types of diplomacy. I also know someone from Iran, and he told me we do carpet diplomacy. We give a country a carpet, but also we weave carpets, so we have a long-term thinking in terms of diplomacy. I've also heard that China, you have panda diplomacy.
Yes.
And so what happens? Do you give a panda or do you rent a panda?
We rent a panda.
You rent a panda to a zoo, okay? I find that very striking that on the Silk Road, which joins people together, that there are so many different types of diplomacy. Diplomacy, I think, is something which also depends on communication. Some of the best diplomats are, in fact, journalists, because journalists are the type of people who seem to know everything.
The curator also told us, in order to commemorate the 10th anniversary of the Belt and Road Initiative, the Marco Polo Center also co-organized the relevant activities with the local people to better tell the story of Marco Polo in China to Croatian.
I don't know if we will get a panda for that, but we shall see how we shall do that in the spirit of building bridges.
The curator spares no effort to promote the study of Marco Polo worldwide. Whenever he stands in this museum looking out over the coast, the view in front of him slowly overlaps with what Marco Polo saw 700 years ago. His conviction deepens.
What Marco Polo teaches us is it isn't important whether you win or lose a battle. What is important is to have trust in books, have trust in your friends, and most importantly, have trust in your story. Because if you trust your story, then like Marco Polo, I think even if you've lost a battle, you will, 700 years after it, be remembered by everyone because you are doing what joins us all together today, and that is a love of stories. Marco Polo told us a story 700 years ago, and people have continued to tell this story. I have also told you this section of the story, so I hope that you also are telling stories related to Korčula, related to Marco Polo, and related to lions and dragons that live in this city.